You know, some days just don't go like you planned, and yesterday was one of those days. And it started off with me forgetting to put my safety glasses on. Look at there. Look at there. Hi, George here, and welcome to Tales from Target Suite, where I'll share my perspective on guns and shooting, and we'll spend some time at the range, and every now and then we'll reconvene out of my shop back in Houston or here at the farm in Louisiana, where I'll build some fun projects, and we'll share an adventure or two that'll make even a grown man smile. And yes, we were trying yesterday to check out the Extreme Defense bullet from Lehigh Defense, and this is a little bit different than the Extreme Penetrator bullet that we worked on in last week's video. And if you want to check out that video, then you can look right about here and there'll be a link that pops up. But the Extreme Defense bullet is supposed to penetrate less than the Extreme Penetrator bullet, as the name would imply. But it is a heavier copper bullet, and it's a little bit longer than the brass Extreme Penetrator bullet. But it also has a more aggressive nose geometry, and that's why on the Lehigh Defense website it says that they've engineered the Extreme Defense bullets to penetrate at about 18 inches. But the other thing that didn't go well is that the Extreme Defense bullet penetrated farther than we thought. Okay, that bullet's going to be hard to find. And then the third thing that didn't go well is that the bone samples that we picked, which are basically old cow bones that have been laying around here for probably a decade, were probably just a little bit too dense and too brittle for the test we opted for. And so I had some extreme deflection, if you will, with the Extreme Defense bullet. So we're going to revisit some of this today. And I've got, but the first thing I want to do is, and it's something else I forgot to do yesterday, and that is to chronograph the hand loads so that we can see how much faster or slower the 325 grain copper Extreme Defense bullet is going relative to the 305 grain Extreme Penetrator bullet. So we're going to step over to the chronograph right now. We'll check out this copper 325 grain bullet, see how fast it's traveling, and then we're going to come back here and set up some more tests, and we're going to accommodate for more penetration than we did yesterday. Okay, I've got 3 bullets here that I'm going to load up. I'm going to start in the magazine with an Extreme Penetrator, just as a reminder of the velocities that we got with the 305 grain projectile, the Extreme Penetrator, and then I'm going to load 2 of the Extreme Defender bullets, the 325 grain Extreme Defender. So the first 2 shots will be the Extreme Defender, and then the last shot is going to be the Extreme Penetrator, and so we'll be able to compare all 3 of those 2 velocities between the Defender and the Penetrator. .2032. .1996. Those are the 2 Defenders, .2032 and .1996. Okay, the Extreme Penetrator was at 2017, and so the velocities are not too far off. Now let's head back over to the test setup and let's get the watermelon and the jugs going. Okay, here's our setup. We're in the same place as we were last week. We've got a small watermelon and we've got 10 water jugs, and we penetrated 6 water jugs yesterday, and so I think 10 is going to be more than enough if we can stay on course. I've got 2 outrigger jugs on either side. If we deviate a little bit, hopefully we can still catch the bullet. But I think we're going to be able to stay on track just going through the watermelon. And so let's get that shot off and see what kind of carnage is left behind. Okay, we've got a deflection there and bullets in the water, in the big water. So we're gonna reset up and see if we can't keep this one on track. Okay, that one went through 4 water jug, it deflected off to the left, kissed off the side of the first outrigger jug, and then disappeared into the pond. And so we've got the same setup again, 10 water jugs, 1 watermelon, the Lehigh Defense Extreme Defense bullet. Okay, that one busted 8 water jugs and then the bullet disappeared. We may find it once we review the footage. Okay, we're going to try it again. We've got 10 more. We've got 10 more water jugs down there, a new watermelon, and a new round. Finally, so we caught that one in the 8th water jug. That's a pristine bullet.
Well, on closer examination, there is actually a little bit of deformation on that bullet. The one on the top is the one that we're talking about right here. And so just going through the watermelon and some water jugs, it did fold over the end of those fins just a little bit, but not much.
And the GoPro is going to verify, but I think we captured this in the 8th water jug. And yesterday we went through, I believe we went through 6 water jugs, captured the Extreme Penetrator in 6 water jugs. Okay, now we're going to talk about my bone coupon. And if you were here for any of my brush cartridge videos, you'll recognize that term coupon. And so we'll talk about that this time up front, so there won't be as much confusion. So let me get set up for the bone test. Okay, so here's our bone coupon, and it came from some rib tips. Some rib tips are basically bone, little sections of ribs where bones are about this long. And so I've got them laid in there like this, 2 layers of bone tips wrapped in tape. So it's going to be hard for a bullet to get through both layers of that without going through some bone. And so it's fresh bone. It's not real big, but it's about this. A rib from a pig is about the same size as a rib from a deer, at least these ribs. And so let's see if I can hit that coupon of, and if I didn't say it already, coupon is an engineering term that refers to a test medium. Usually it's a piece of steel or something that you stress and break. I've loosely applied it, as I did back in my brush cartridge videos, I've loosely applied it here to the group of the bunch of bones that we're going to shoot through to see what kind of deformation we're going to find in the bullet, if any, or if any change to the penetration. So let me grab my Winchester 1886 and let's see if we can hit that little coupon right there. Looks promising. Let's see what we got. Yes! Okay, it deflected and we caught it in the seventh water jug. Oh yeah. Check that out. Now that's some deformation right there. Okay, I don't think I have enough water jugs. Let me see if I've got enough water jugs for us to retest the Extreme Penetrator bullet and see what it'll do here. Let me check and I'll get back with you here in just a second. Okay, we're gonna try this. I've got just enough water jugs, hopefully, to stop the one shot that we're gonna take with the Extreme Penetrator. And according to last week's video, we were only getting 6 water jugs of penetration. And I think we just got 8 water jugs of penetration with the Extreme Defender, which is supposed to be less penetrating. Let's see what this one does, see if I can hit that coupon. That way we can get a direct, same day, same family of watermelons, same water jugs comparison between the Extreme Penetrator and the Extreme Defender, which we've already seen. So let's see what I can do here. Well, we did our job right there. You know, it's a ½ inch off center, but in any case, it did deflect, and I didn't get to capture that bullet because I had to use my outrigger jugs to fill up the line, and so we're not going to be able to compare. At least today, we won't get to compare one-to-one the same day between the Extreme Defender and the Extreme Penetrator. But one thing we have learned today, which is a surprise to me, is that based on last week's test, the Extreme Defender, which is supposed to be a controlled penetration bullet in the 45-70 at 325 grains, is what I would call an extreme penetrator. And I believe the GoPro footage is going to verify, and I'll answer my own question right here with the text. But I believe the GoPro footage is going to verify that the Extreme Defender bullet is a lot more energetic on the watermelon than the Extreme Penetrator. And so that's an interesting data point. And I was expecting a bigger energy transfer in the watermelon, but I wasn't expecting deeper penetration. So, wow, that's the way the watermelon pops, is all I got to say. Next week, we're going to take a look at the wide flat nose bullet, the 380 grain, I believe it is, wide flat nose bullet from Lehigh Defense, and see how that lines up against the Extreme Penetrator from last week, the Extreme Defense from this week, and then next week, the wide flat nose bullet. And we're going to have some fun with that one, I can promise you. I want to say thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.